I think that for me and for many young men in their 20s, there is this experience of you find out that one thing that the Matrix told you is wrong. And for me, there were two things. One, the way it told me to get girls to like me was wrong. It told me, and I suffered through my high school, dote upon her, dream about her,
You're
think
saying
about
like
her.
Movies you saw, what
Yes.
romanticism was.
Yes.
This is the Matrix, what
Yes,
you saw.
the Matrix.
This is like...
and to the degree where like this was at the beginning, the girl that I liked at one point, like I went into a Dunkin' Donuts and she like wouldn't look at me or talk to me. And I didn't use that as a thing to like separate from her. She also had this thing, which we were both young, where then she would like AOL instant message me and be nice to me, and then hot, cold me. And I understand that more as an adult, but at the time it was just like, well, all I'm supposed to do is just love and like her even more throughout all of this. I'm The Rock.
Disney Channel movies.
Yes.
And whatever was in the media at the time.
And so I got hot, cold, strung along for a long time, and it was painful. And when I did pull back, she was even nicer to me. And then I read the game, and it told me, be a bit more of a challenge. Use this line to tease a girl in a bar. And I did it, and then there were laughters, and there was more interest. And I was like, the world is a lie. Everything is fake. Nothing can be trusted.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened with my career, which was... you have to do it, you got to get a 9-to-5. You can be a lawyer or a doctor or this. Those are the top tier jobs, maybe even finance. That was breaking into the scene. And I did this internet thing. There wasn't a single authority figure or adult that actively supported me. I thank mom and dad for like really allowing and not threatening me at all. They had their worries, but like they did not get in my way.
Yes.
But nobody was like, yes. And then I broke out of it, found a life that seemed much more enjoyable than what my peers were doing and even what my parents and all
became
of
a
those people had
zealot in
done.
both fields.
And I became a zealot.
Yeah.
And I was telling people like Sneeko, you're wrong. This is wrong. This is not the way. I was evangelical, knocking on people's doors, bringing them the gospel.
Yes.
And it was only with time that I learned, one, this is not for everyone. The challenges faced by like, one, having, walking up to a girl at a bar is not something everybody wants to deal with. They might want to meet somebody in their social circle in a more relaxed setting. Two, that's not necessarily the best way to meet like a long-term partner, though it can happen. Like what I had thought, like this is what women and men's relationships are these like sunsets and you go out and be really cool at the thing and all like that isn't the only way. And that the career stuff is, most people are not made for it. They really aren't. And I didn't realize that there was something in me that had a higher tolerance for the ambiguity and uncertainty of entrepreneurship. So that I felt guilty at times when I had like pushed people and then it wasn't right for them.
Yeah.
All that to say, I understand what it is like to be a young man convinced that everyone else is wrong and screaming at the top of your lungs that everyone needs to change. Thank God for me, though, much of that is not on camera. All of those obnoxious things are not being held against me. And when I did start to evolve and change my mind, there was no one to say, yesterday you said this and you were wrong. So I was able to like very gracefully and I think very quickly update, adjust, iterate my beliefs. And one of the difficult things is when you're on the internet and you have an audience and you are publicly shamed, canceled, kicked off of websites, two things happen. One, when you do reverse, people hit you even harder. You know what I mean? They come in, if Sneeko today were to say, I was wrong about this or it lacked nuance, he would be mocked further, which...
think about the veganism guy.
Yeah.
He got destroyed, right?
Yeah.
His entire community, he became a zealot and telling everybody, debating him, telling him they should be zealot.
So this cosmic skeptic.
Yeah.
Who would, and I think that probably made whatever happened, his movement in the other direction, very difficult.
Yeah.
Because when you're publicly out there, these are not people in your life. They do not have the same graces that a person in front of you, where there's a fear of violence and a necessity to look at someone. So the things that you're going to receive are much more aggressive. And two, I think that one of the other things that the internet creates is that whereas before, when in my family, where like I left the way mom and dad and cousins and aunts and uncles did things, but I didn't find like a new community. I took some of my friends and we started our old community, which meant that necessarily we brought our value sets with us. So like very quickly, we were like, this pickup artist stuff, they lie a lot, and we shouldn't do that because that's not the way that we want to do things. And we were almost benefited by not falling into like whatever they call, like a gang of pickup artists with their like top hats and jewelry and a gaggle.
A gaggle is what they're called when you get like more than 4.
When you get more than 4.
A gaggle of pickups. Had
I fallen into that and I saw communities like that with older men, I probably wouldn't have been so sturdy in the beliefs that I brought over. I probably would have said, well, it's not a lie if it's flirting. That's literally a line in the game. It's not a lie if you're flirting, which
wow.
I fucking disagree with. But I would have, had that guy been in my life, I probably would have taken his value set and just followed it. And I think this is what happens when the mechanics of the internet are such. You get kicked out of one community, the other community will find you, embrace you, and inculcate you with their ideologies.